Morning YouTube, and a happy new year. It is the first Monday back at work. We were due to be doing some work over Christmas, but unfortunately the white stuff was on the ground, and as anybody knows, if you decide to do some pruning works while the snow's around, you're going to have to go back and clean up afterwards. So we had an enforced break over Christmas, and hopefully if the snow keeps away, although it's lingering today, we will be working this week, taking Christmas decorations down, and we'll be dropping back into the pruning at the weekend. It was a few school jobs that we had to do while the schools were shut, but looking at the news today, the schools are going to be, well, a lot of them are going to be staying shut, so it's probably not going to be an issue. We're probably going to be able to actually go and do those jobs, through the week. But I thought I would bring the second part of the advertising. We discussed on the first one the advertising I used in the past, and there's a few little things I've used towards the end where I was sort of getting out and needing to advertise. I mean, you always need to advertise, but we seem to have to do less and less as you get a bit of a reputation. You need to look for work less. It starts to come to you more often. But there's a lot more modern advertising out there now that I want to talk about, and avenues that people can use. And the first one is BNI. Now BNI I used about 3 years ago, and I used it for a full season, a full year. And what BNI is a networking organisation. And I was invited to a breakfast club on a morning, and they meet at 6 o'clock on a morning, which was in Darlington, which was about 15 minutes drive at 6 o'clock on a morning. So I thought I'd give it a try, and I liked what I saw. And basically the platform is, you meet up with other businesses, and there's one person from each category. So you could only have one landscape gardener, you could only have one plumber, one solicitor, etc, etc. And the aim is, you get to stand up each week for a minute and explain what you do, and then everybody, if there's say 30 people in the room, once every 30 weeks you get the chance of a 10-minute or 15-minute presentation to let everybody know more about your company, and you get to do a presentation on a slideshow and things like that. And it proved quite profitable. I was only in it a year, but it proved quite profitable. And it's sort of, you get out what you put in. So what it was is, if there's a joiner in the room, then your aim is to go out and find work for that joiner, and his aim is to go out and find work for you. So if he's doing a new build, he might recommend that they want the garden done. If you're doing a gardening job and that lady needs a shed built or something, or some doors putting on, you would recommend him. Vice versa, and you scored on how many referrals you get and how much business you pass. And I did quite well in the time I was in, and you get various certificates and stuff. But you're a victim of your own success, and the reason I never renewed was the better you're doing it, the more time it takes. So initially it's a breakfast club so that you can get to work at 9 o'clock on a morning. So I used to go in at 6 and you could leave at 9 and then off to work. But what I found is, as you do better, they want you to do more things. So they want you to become part of the leadership team of it and start helping set up on a morning, and before you know it, you're there till 11 o'clock and stuff. So it was good. I still get work from it today. A couple of people in there, one who manages property, I've done a lot of work for. So anybody thinking about networking, not just BNI but any network, and it is worth doing. You get to, it brings you public speaking on as well, because I wasn't very good in front of people, and once I started going to these meetings and doing it regular, it becomes a lot easier to talk to people. So I would recommend anybody who's maybe a bit short of work, or anybody who's looking to better themselves in various ways, that's one of the good platforms. Now, there is a downside to BNI, and there probably is to all networking organisations, and that is, everybody in that room should be out to help you. And I was passing a lot of work to a guy, and I was getting him quite a lot of referrals. However, I swiftly found out that the said person wasn't passing work my way and was passing it to somebody else he knew, which wasn't part of the game, and that was one of the reasons I sort of got out of it, because you've got a lot of people pulling in one direction, then you've got one or two snakes, for a better word, who you're passing them work, so why aren't they giving you it back? That's the name of the game at the end of the day. Yes, you've already built relationships with other people in the past, but if you're committed to this cause, then you're committed to the people in the room. So that's one of the downsides. You'll always get people who don't want to help you or won't help you. So, but overall, networking is a good avenue. Anybody thinking of doing it, I would recommend it. Moving on to other things, obviously we're in a social media world now, and a business platform that was invented was LinkedIn. And when it started off, LinkedIn was really good. Basically, business people had you, and sort of you have conversations on there, you show your work on there, you talk to fellow people in your trade on there. But the problem with LinkedIn was it turned from a good business platform when I first joined it to Facebook, for a better word. So people put on, oh, this is my son, he's playing football, or this is my wife, we've just got married. That's not what it's for. It's a business platform. Oh, I've just bought a new car. That's not the name of this game. The name of this game is business and everything about business. So that's what put me off LinkedIn. I'm still a member of LinkedIn, but I don't tend to do much, because it is, for a better word, it is Facebook. So it's a total waste of time in my eyes. Some people probably do still benefit from it, but it's not a good platform. But there are good platforms out there, and you've got things like Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, for instance. They're all similar platforms, and the main one, Facebook, which a lot of people use, can be good for your business. So if you live in a town somewhere and you want to promote yourself, the best way to get that to get your business noticed is to put a picture of someone's lawn, or if you've laid a patio or something, on that platform. And if your friends and family are sharing it in your village or your town, and that's getting shared a few times and then a few times by other people, that's going to get you work. And the same in the form of advertising. Yes, with Facebook you can pay for targeted marketing in your area, so you can actually pay Facebook to bump you up the ratings and show people in your area you're the landscape gardener. But then you've got to ask yourself, do you really need that? If you've got 300 friends and each one of them friends has 300 friends, all you need is your friends to actually show that post to people to get you more publicity, and you will get work from it. So if you're cutting a lawn and putting nice stripes on a lawn in the summer, that post, if that post goes to various people and it gets shared several times, and people share your business page and like your business page, you're going to get work from it. So that's what I would say. Through experience, I wouldn't tend to go down the market, and some people might differ and say I spend £100 a month with Facebook and it makes me £1,000 a month. Some people it might work for, but I think if you utilise what's very easy, which is your friends and family and their friends and family, you are going to get plenty work from the platform. Like I say, with Twitter and the Instagram and things, it's all about sharing stuff you do. So people want to see sort of photos of nice work, and in turn, if someone's sat on a night and they're looking at a nice picture of someone's garden and they're looking out of their garden and it doesn't look very nice, so potentially you're going to get some business from that platform, and it's going to repay itself for you spending maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes one night every 20 minutes a night every couple of nights just to put a post on in the summer. That could be worth it, and that's the cheapest form of advertising you're going to get, because it's essentially free. That's the good thing with it. And then moving on to what you're watching now, YouTube. Yes, YouTube isn't targeted at people sort of in your area, but you can put YouTube videos on and put links into your Facebook. So it's the same again. If you've got 300 friends and you put you do a YouTube video of you cutting a lawn and tidying the edges, and it looks absolutely fabulous. If you put that on your Facebook and say only 100 of your friends watch it, but 5 or 6 of them share it, it's getting plenty viewing, and it's the same again. It's free. It's not costing anything to get people to actually look at that advertising. So YouTube going forward, I think it could be a good platform, although it's not what I'm using it for to expand the business. I'm doing it just for, like I say, to help other people more than anything. And same with the machinery. I'm in a position where I get to test a lot of machines and stuff. I don't always buy them, but I buy quite a high percentage of them. But if I can help other people who, certain dealers in certain areas, if you don't have good relationships, you won't get demonstrations and things. You won't get to borrow a machine for a month. So the good thing is people can watch my videos and realise that I give a good review. I don't just say, oh, this is a great machine. If it's bad, I'll say it's bad. So, and that's the good thing with it. So any machines, I do give both sides of the story with it. So YouTube, like I say, is another platform, and things crop up all the time, other forms of advertising, but that's sort of the new generation of advertising. If you watch part 1 of my video, which was the previous one a couple of weeks ago, that was the older stuff of leaflets and things, which some people agreed with me and some people disagreed that they were, but like I say, they worked for me at the time, and they would work for me in the future if I decided to drop back into leaflets. So I hope this short video has helped, guys, and I hope it, if people are looking into more advertising and things, and they use the Facebook as a Facebook for friends, and they maybe never thought about it, doing it as a route into getting business, then use it. It's free. Use whatever you can in form of advertising that is free, because it's better for you. It means you can spend that money on either more equipment, or you can spend it on other forms of advertising. Like if you want to get a website up and running, you can plough your whole advertising budget into that, because of the social media already taking care of itself. So thanks for watching, guys. 2021 now, still uncertain times. I don't think it's going to be much better than 2020, but we're lucky in our trade that we can actually still get out and be operational, not like a lot of businesses that can't work and are struggling, and a lot of businesses that are going to the wall. So we're in a good sector for that. I'm assuming it's the same over every country at the moment, not just the UK, but I think when you look around the world, everybody's in the same boat. So just keep plugging on, guys, and thanks for watching, and we shall see you on the next one.